podcast.
Bum podcast.
Between you and me.
Between you and me.
So, I got this topic I want to talk about.
Another topic,
man. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
Another topic that I'm not fully aware of.
You know, you're not fully aware of it, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. You're fully aware of what went on, and so you'll be able to have some conversation with me from that perspective. But, yeah. So, before I get started, I'll tell you, so the thought for the title is Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice, which is befitting of the times that we're in now, where everybody's so full of pride and some others are so full of prejudice.
Yeah, this might be a good one.
Yeah, and so for anybody that's listening who knows me, and for those who don't, like my mantra, the biggest thing to me is integrity, right? Integrity, and so I like to be a person of integrity. I like to always keep things above the board.
Right.
I like to be authentic.
Yes.
I invite other people to be authentic around me. I'm not gonna say that was my whole life, but it's definitely been my life of late for the last 20 years. And so, with that being said, something happened to me this past week, and I had to grapple with it. And I even pulled T in on it with me for a part of it, and I really fought with this thing. And at the end of the day, my mind just started playing tricks on me, and so I'm gonna dive into it. I'm gonna let you know. Now, here's the thing: the person or people that I'm going to talk about will not hear this, and I have no clue how to get to them so that they can hear this.
Yeah.
But this is my getting it off of not even off my chest, but this is my confession. This is a confessional. It's a confessional. Pride and Prejudice. And as a matter of fact, I honestly believe I've only told, outside of my family, my wife and my son T, I've only told one other person about this, and it was because I just could not shake it.
You couldn't shake it.
I couldn't shake it. So
you were rattled.
Yeah, I was rattled. So Marvin Harley, I think I told you about this, Marvin. So I'm name dropping. So you know I'm coming clean. So this is what happened. So. We got some big changes going on around our house, and I won't divulge what those are just yet, but we have some humongous changes going on, some life-altering changes. And so I've been getting rid of some stuff. I've been selling some stuff. And so a couple of weeks ago, I actually sold a pool table.
Yeah, finally.
I sold a pool table, and when I sold the pool table, I was happy because the guy who came to pick the pool table up, he brought seven of them followed up in the house. And so that just meant that T and I didn't have to lift anything.
Yeah, I definitely was trying to lift them.
Yeah, man, we getting tired of lifting. So we didn't have to lift anything. So they swooped in. We had already taken the bolts and stuff off of the pool table, so all they had to do was pick it up, take it out, drop it, and run, which is basically what they did. I mean, they was in and out in probably 15 minutes or less. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, they left so fast, they left their tools because they're taking tools out of the truck and they left their tools in the driveway. And so I had to call them back, and I eventually left them a text to let them know that they left their tools and that they can come back and pick them up. So that was cool. So that was the first part of it. No, everything's all gone without a hitch, you know.
Yeah.
They gave me what I asked for. I gave them what they asked for, and it was cool.
Equal exchange.
Yeah. So a couple days later, I was looking for my Airpods.
Right.
And I couldn't find them anywhere. I assumed, and you know what people say about assume. I assumed that I had taken them with me. And as an end result, I could have still done what I'm thinking I assumed. Right. That I had taken them with me because I pretty much remember the pool table was picked up on a Thursday. Uh-huh. The pool table was picked up on a Thursday. I remembered having them on a Saturday. Right. And I was adamant about the fact that I had them on a Saturday.
When you went to the store.
When I went to the store. And so, but I couldn't find them on Sunday. Uh-huh. I couldn't find them on Sunday. And there's this real neat feature about Airpods if you don't own any. And this is not a plug for Airpods by any means. But I will tell you.
Not sponsored at all.
They're not sponsored at all. But with the Airpods, there's Find My...
Right, the app is Find My iPhone, and you can find your Apple devices and stuff.
There you go.
The GPS tracking on your phone, basically.
GPS tracking on your phone. So I'm like, I don't know what my AirPods are. Let me find my AirPods. And so I did find my AirPods, and they weren't at the house. I mean, they were not at the house, right? Like, I mean, I got in my, it was like 10:30 last Sunday night. I got in my truck and my GPS on my phone took me to somebody's house.
Right.
And it said that they had my AirPods. It said that my AirPods was inside the house. And here's the funny thing about it, though. It actually said the last time they had pinged was that Thursday.
Right.
That Thursday, it said the last time they pinged. But I remembered having them on a Saturday. But on Sunday, it said that it had pinged at their house. And I'd never been to that house before. Knew nobody at the house. I was like, man. So then I started thinking, my mind started playing tricks on me. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I dropped my AirPods when I went to the store on Saturday and they picked them up.
Right.
And so I kind of came back home and I talked T into getting up the next morning and riding with me over to the people's house to ask them if they found my AirPods, because my AirPods showed up on the GPS at their house.
And what an adventure that was.
That was an adventure, because they had a dog. Yeah. Dog run out to the car. And so I guess we sat out there for about 5 minutes waiting on somebody to finally come out. And then we drove away. Mm-hmm. And then when we got back, the guy had come out. But the strangest thing was on Monday when we went over there, we couldn't. I mean, the AirPods wouldn't show up.
Right, they weren't picking up.
They weren't picking up at all. So I was, oh man, they don't reset my AirPods now. So all right, so this is that. So all of these are factual things that have happened. So I haven't gotten to the Pride and Prejudice part yet. So these are facts. Did I miss anything yet?
No.
All right, cool. So we're sitting here in these people's yard, and we're talking to the man, and the man is an older gentleman. Mm-hmm. And he seems bewildered. Would you think bewildered?
Yeah, he just had such this confused look on his face, almost to the point it's like, you look so confused that you just might not be confused. That's the look that was on his face.
Yeah, I think you might have said something about.
I was like, he looks peculiar. He looks a little strange.
Yeah, and so I was trying to explain to him, like, okay, well, all I know is, I said, I'm just saying, I looked up my AirPods on my phone because they have this feature, and they showed up at this address. And so I'm just trying to find out. This was probably crazy to think about it, but I'm just trying to find out if maybe somebody picked up AirPods and y'all been trying to find the person who owns them and want to return them.
Right.
And so the guy was like, well, nah, do you know such and such? And I'm like, nah, I don't know him. I doubt if I know who got my AirPods. But I'm just, if nobody has them, then that's fine. But that's just what the thing said. Well, let me go. My granddaughter or my daughter.
I think it was his daughter.
His daughter stays here with me sometime. Let me go get her. And so he went in, and then he came back out, and then he went back in, and then he got this young lady, and he brought her outside. And she was fully aware what finding my AirPod was. And she even agreed with me, like, yeah, I mean, it's like accurate like most of the time.
Right.
But we haven't seen your AirPods. And so the guy says, and this is where the Pride and Prejudice part comes in at, right? So they kept asking me, and I was adamant about the fact that I had my AirPods on Saturday.
Right.
And so he asked her, he said, well, her stepbrother came over on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And so maybe he knows. And I was like, well, no, I had him on Saturday. He said, well, I'll tell you what, if you give me your address, give me your information, when our stepbrother comes over, we'll ask him, and then if he's seen him, we'll contact you. And at that point, I'm like, nah, I just charge it to the game. Don't worry about it. If you haven't seen him, you haven't heard anything about it, then don't worry about it. I'll take it as a loss. And he was looking, still bewildered, but he was like, oh, okay. He said, well, you sure you sure it was the right thing? And I looked at the daughter, and I was like, this is how Find My AirPod works, right? She said, yeah, that's how it works. So cool. So we left.
Right.
We left. And so at this point, I'm ready to charge it to the game. I'm like, look, these AirPods are gone. I dropped them. I don't know. And then my mind started playing tricks on me. Mm-hmm. Because there were a number of things that took place that kind of led me to a different conclusion than I knew 100% of what happened.
Right.
Now, I remember listening to my AirPods, I thought, on Saturday, because a song had dropped. I went to listen to the song, and then something else that my wife had sent me on Saturday morning started playing. So I'm like, I know on Saturday I had these AirPods, I think. You see what I'm saying? That's how my mind started playing. I think. Because now I'm lining up her stepbrother coming to the house, him, the man saying maybe he knows,
right? And
7 kids running in my house to get a pool table and running back out.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, I had some extra pool balls and some chalk that I was. I actually sent them a message and said, "Hey, I was looking for it before you left, but I found it after you left. If you're interested, just let me know. I'll meet you with it." And it was cold silent. Nobody said anything. And so I'm like, okay, I'm wondering now.
Did one of them take?
Did one of them take my AirPods? And I was stewing. Like it was. I was like,
yeah. You were stewing because I remember you came to me. You're like, I just feel like we should go back. I was like, I don't know about that. But,
and and it's like and even when I said something about going back, it was like just to go back to let them know that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point I didn't think that there in no way in the world I was going to get those AirPods back. But because the man was trying to line up the timeline till Thursday,
right? And
as I started thinking about it, I was thinking, maybe he's right. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they have been gone since Thursday. It did show up at the at his place on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So maybe these kids took my AirPods. And I start feeling bad then. I did because at that point, so pride wouldn't let me let it go. Because pride is the thing that kept me saying I need to let them know that I know. Right. And so, and I ain't tell you this part, T, and this is real bad, y'all. But this is a confession. And so what I did was, because like again, I understand that there was nothing I could have done to get these back. I sent a text message to the person that bought the pool table.
You did?
I did. I sent the text message. And it was a simple text message, right? I took a picture of some AirPods and I sent the picture of the AirPods and I said something to the effect of, I see why now. It was just that simple. Like a picture of the AirPods and I said, I see why now.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
I know you didn't. And which makes it even worse. So at this point, I'm thinking, these dudes got me for my AirPods. They don't even want to come get the stuff I got for them for free. This is just, it's just too much. And so, but my pride, and I think my pride got me because I felt violated.
Right.
Like, I don't know if anybody's ever been, like not even robbed, but like if somebody burglarized you, you know what I'm saying? You feel violated. Like your whole world was shaking and my whole world was shaking.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finish the story after I bring T in. But so, because we have this conversation sometimes because in college, like, man, they got the most trusting environment in the world at college,
us?
man. Yes.
Yeah.
And so talk about it.
So basically, now I don't want nobody here to try to run up on my stuff or something. But so I guess initially I'm not a very trusting person. So when I got to school, I was I locked the doors. I lock my room door when I walk in. When I walk out, it's always locked. I don't really open the door like that. Just all these different like extra precautions I guess I was taking in the beginning when I first got to school. And then it got to a point where I realized these kids ain't even checking for nothing.
Yeah.
Like I remember specifically there was one day when I bought a soda out the vending machine or something like that. And then I got to a point where I was like, I don't even really want this anymore. And so I just put the soda in the community refrigerator for the whole hall, expecting somebody to just take it because it's just an unopened soda in the refrigerator. And so for some reason, 2 weeks later, I checked the fridge and the same soda is still sitting there. I was like, what? These kids they're not even checking for this type of thing.
I don't get it.
And so basically people just leave their doors unlocked. People leave stuff like out in the common areas and stuff like that. And it's just nobody expects anybody to steal or anything to happen to their stuff. And so that's kind of what the environment's like.
And I guess it's a good environment to be in. It wasn't necessarily the environment that I grew up in, and it definitely wasn't the environment that I went to college in. And so I'm always telling T, I'm like, dude, you sure? Like, we went to pick up his stuff from school, and this dude had like cash money sitting in his dresser, man. Yes, you did, man. You had cash money sitting in your dresser.
In my dresser, in my clothes, man?
Yeah, in your dresser. But I'm like, this dude has been away from school for like 3 months. It's like you left in March and we went back in June.
See, the thing is, I ain't had time to like go through all my little knickknacks and stuff.
I get that.
To organize my things.
I get that. But it's it's a good thing though, because it's a trusted environment. Because right. I just would have never expected you to leave money in there for 3 months and come back and it was still there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was there. So that's good. But so I'm always telling him, like, I guess it's good. Just don't be naive, right? Mm-hmm. But understand that people can burglarize you. People will rob you. People will steal from you, right? And so I don't want to jade him to have him to be overly cautious. But then this thing that just shook my world the other day, man, I took it right back to him. Because, I mean, like, he got a backpack that was sitting. I was thinking about your backpack sitting on the stairs. Man, this dude got a backpack sitting up here. I'm probably about what?
It ain't even sitting out. You acting like it was sitting out.
It was sitting on the stairs.
Just now?
No, it was sitting on the stairs when they picked it up.
When they picked what up?
When they picked up the pool table.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
Okay,
I guarantee you it wasn't.
I'm not going to argue with you. All I'm saying is the dude got cash, like $200 cash in his backpack, sitting around the house.
I like having cash on me.
And I'm like, dude. So anyway, the thing is, Pride and Prejudice. Mm-hmm. So now, this is what happened. So again, I've been selling stuff left and right up in here, just trying to kind of downsize, thin things out. And so now my mind's playing tricks on me. I'm like, man, I can't let people come over here and buy stuff no more. Mm. Like I'm gonna have to sit stuff outside.
Yeah, like it started going to an extreme.
It started going to extreme. I think about it. We had a sofa that I sold, and I sat it at the front door. Remember?
You did do that.
I said
that's
at the
why
front
you
door.
did that.
No, I'm like, I can't. I don't even want people up in my space no more because I don't know if I trust people like that. And it's prejudice. That's where the prejudice part come in, because I have prejudged everybody now based on an interaction that I thought I had. Right? Because I had AirPods, then I didn't have AirPods, and then I find out that possibly somebody who came over my house actually ended up at another house that my AirPods ended up at that I had never been to before in my life. And it just kind of shook my world. And so that's where the prejudice part came in. And so I'm telling y'all, man, it's easy to become prejudiced, prejudging people based on some erroneous information.
Right.
Here's where the other shoe drops. This morning I get up and I had a toolbox that was sitting in my bedroom. And I went to get something out of the toolbox, and lo and behold, my AirPods was sitting on the toolbox.
Mm-hmm. Shameful.
It's shameful. I mean, my AirPods was sitting on the toolbox, and I'm like, this supernatural. I'm like, this supernatural. Because this toolbox has not left my house.
Yeah.
It has not left my house. Now, it was in the basement.
Right.
And I did take it from the basement up to my bedroom, but it had not left my house. And my signal for my AirPods ended up like 4 miles away.
Right.
So that was just mind blowing. But but there are a number of things I guess I just took over this whole podcast. But there are a number of things that came out of this that I want to try to unravel and wrap up in a bow real quick. So first of all, I knew that I had my AirPods after the kids left the house.
Right.
That was one thing that I knew. But as my pride got in the way and my vision started getting blurry, I started doubting what I knew.
Right. Because
somebody else gave me some information that would have corroborated something that would have been more convenient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I knew them kids couldn't have took my AirPods because I still had them. But when the man said that a kid that came over to the house on Thursday, I knew my AirPods pinged over there on Thursday, I knew I didn't have my new kids fell up in the house, I automatically switched from what I knew was right to what was convenient for me to hear. And so whoever's listening out in the podcast, well, I want to understand that. Our mind plays tricks on us sometimes. It ain't always true.
Right.
But things get convenient. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Oh, no, I didn't have anything to say.
All right, so cool. So that was the first thing I wanted to say. So I mean, my pride, and the good thing is I could pretty much keep my pride in check, other than sending one text message that was kind of coded.
Nah, that was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't out him. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a hint. And the conversation I had with Marvin, because I was like, Marvin, man, guess what happened to me, man? I just feel so violated. But I didn't tell it everybody. I didn't blurt it out to the world. I didn't go back over to the people's house. I apologize, young men. I don't know your names. I don't know your whereabouts. But I really did like get my mind switched around from what I knew was right. But let's move on. Because something happened this morning that you did, T. I know, you don't know. But you did it, and I was like, dang, this dude thinks just like me. So when I told T, T had a blank look on his face.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead. Now,
right,
what did you say?
All right, so I guess apparently he woke up this morning and found the AirPods in his toolbox. And it was just such a, like, a shaking moment, such an impactful moment to him that he came in my room and woke me out of my sleep to tell me that he found his AirPods. I mean, you could kind of continue it a little bit more from there.
Well, I just what you said. You had this stare on your face.
Right. So it was just, we were just talking about the whole thought of how did this happen? How, if it was here the whole time, how did the signal end up 4 miles away and all that kind of thing? And so I guess my first thought and what I vocalized to you was, I wonder what was our purpose for being there then.
I wonder what our purpose for being there then was, and that's I think that stuck with me because that's the way I think. Mm-hmm. And you thought that way. It's like, okay, hold up. This is so weird.
Right.
This is so weird, and I don't know what was going on over at the house. I don't even want to try to figure out what was going over at the house. Yeah. Right. But it was so weird that we had no business being over there.
Right.
We had no business being over there, and nothing would have taken us over there except the signal that said that my AirPods were there, and they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
So strange.
That's so strange. That's so strange. And so, I'd like to think that one thing was something was going on at that house that needed to be interrupted, and we did. Uh-huh. We'll never know if that's true. I won't claim whatever that is. Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe they just need to see a friendly. I mean, because it was I guess it was a Caucasian.
Yeah.
She looked Latino. I don't know. But maybe they just need to see some friendly black faces, and maybe it changed the way they treat black people from now on. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the prejudice part. Maybe it just changed. I don't know what it is. But we ended up over there. The other thing is, I mean, it man, just Pride and Prejudice. Like, just don't. I mean, when you know what you know, like when you know what you know, mm-hmm. don't let other people change your mind so easily.
Right.
Especially during these times. Because I know, like, we going through this whole black-white thing, this everybody Asian thing, all of this kind of stuff. And like people that you've grown up, you've been going to school with your whole life. People you've been talking to your whole life, you go to church or work with or whatever.
Right now is really a time where it's like bringing out certain parts of people, and you're seeing where people fall on certain, I guess, on certain subjects and certain topics and how they really feel about things. Everything's kind of being brought to light right now.
Yeah. So don't if you know what you know,
right,
don't let something like that change you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let something like that sway you. Like if you know what you know. Right? You've been down with these people forever, right?
Right.
And this is just not from an African American talking to, this is for whomever you are, whatever race or ethnicity or whomever you are. Like, I've been telling people
I'm just on a person to person level.
Yeah, on a person to person level. Like, I'm always who I was, right?
Right.
Don't just see me as black now. See me as you always saw me. I just had the same issues as people that you didn't think I was like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so Pride and Prejudice. I learned a lot this week. I learned a lot about myself this week. I learned a lot about myself this week.
Always be aware of who you are, or be aware of how you're thinking, or aware of just, like, you want to make sure that you don't ever allow yourself to get to that bad place.
Right.
Basically. And it could come up out of nowhere. From places you didn't even think it was possible. You didn't even think you would think a certain way, but just always, I guess, keep yourself in check.
Yeah. Because youth and young adults, that's my thing. Like, right. I have always seen them in the best possible light, and just something just so subtle, just rock my world, man. And I struggled with that thing. And I'm glad it didn't turn out the way it didn't turn out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It kind of restored my faith. But I feel ashamed for myself for how I allowed what I knew what was true to be changed around because it was convenient for me to think something else. Yeah. So Pride and Prejudice.
Uh-huh.
Pride and Prejudice. Bum Podcast.
All right.
Holla.